Hi, I'm Genesis.
Hello,
Andrew.
Andrew.
Andrew, nice to meet you. Welcome to my office. What's your last name?
Popovici, Popovici.
Okay. And how old are you?
28.
28. Okay. And why are you here today?
I've just had a lot of stress at work lately.
Okay.
Someone said I needed some time with a counselor.
Okay. Was that like a friend, a doctor?
Coworker.
Coworker? Okay. 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 Before we start on the questions, I just want to let you know about our confidentiality agreement. So everything that we talk about in this room will be confidential. It'll stay between you and me, with a few very rare exceptions. So I'm just going to explain those exceptions to you really quick just so that you know what you're getting yourself into and that, there's nothing under the table. So one exception would be if I were subpoenaed by a court of law to divulge any information that we share here. The second instance would be if it's in your interest to protect you, your safety. If I feel concerned for your safety, I will have to report that. If I'm concerned for the welfare of society in general or of another individual, I'll have to report that as well. And then the other exception would be if you need me to release any information, you can sign a waiver stating that I can release information to a specific party if you allow that to happen. But otherwise, any of my notes that I take during therapy session, I keep it under lock and key. No one has access to it but me. And yeah, that should be it. Do you have any questions about that? Okay. Would you do me a favor and just sign this for me real quick? All right. Thank you. All right. So this first interview will not get into anything super deep yet. This is kind of like you're getting to know me. I'm going to get to know you. So I'm going to ask you a few questions just about your history. So you said a coworker suggested that maybe you should see a counselor for stress. Just work-related stress, or are you feeling any other stress?
Mostly just work, yeah.
Mostly work.
A totally different person when I'm there.
Okay, do you mind if I take notes?
Go for it.
Okay. Let's get into a little bit of your history. To start, do you have any sort of medical or mental health conditions that you think are important for me to know about going into?
Well, I did have a little bit of depression maybe a year ago.
Okay.
I was medicated for several months.
Are you taking any medication now?
Not currently, no.
And what were you taking when you were?
Prozac, 10 milligrams daily.
And how long have you been off of the Prozac?
Several months, I think.
Okay. When you were dealing with your depression, did you see a therapist?
A couple of times, yes.
Okay. Just 2 sessions or?
2 or 3.
2 or 3? Okay.
There's a move that kind of disrupted that.
Okay. What was your experience with that therapist?
It was good, promising.
Promising. And the only reason you stopped is because you moved?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been hospitalized for either mental health reasons or substance use?
No.
No. Is there any sort of abuse in your history? Do you have any history of physical, emotional, psychological abuse?
I was picked on as a kid, but I don't think any more than most kids.
Okay. And then my last question, and then we'll kind of start getting to know each other. What do you hope to gain from our sessions together?
I don't know. Maybe in the past it's helped us see problems from a different angle.
So you're hoping to gain a new perspective.
Sure.
Is there anything else you hope to gain from therapy?
Good anger management mechanisms, coping strategies.
Good coping for anger.
Yeah. No one's ever taught me how to deal with my anger.
Do you experience a lot of anger at work? Frequently?
I don't. I try not to let it show.
Mm-hmm.
I can't let it show. It's a professional work environment, but
What do you do?
Oh, I'm a pharmacist.
A pharmacist?
Yes.
And what sorts of situations stir up that anger?
I don't know. I try to help people, and they either have too high an expectation, or they want me to break the rules, or they just all sorts of things. People act like they're the only person in the world, and we're just walking. I don't know, we're just background people in their lives, and they treat us like such.
You say us, you're referring to yourself and your
my coworkers, just everyone behind the counter, yeah.
And so, other pharmacists, technicians, just everybody.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Once we put on the white coat or the smock, we're just another, not even a person to a lot of people.
Okay. All right. So, sounds like we need to work on some. So we're going to work on some coping strategies. We'll try to apply them to work specifically, something that you can do while you're behind the counter. You know, if it's getting to be too much, maybe we can work on some of that. And gaining new perspective, you mentioned that the therapist that you were seeing before was very promising. Were they helping you to gain a new perspective?
Yeah.
How so?
I was just able to lay things out. They're able to keep me on track. And I don't know, it's just some sort of structure to all these problems. And then getting to the actual problems, I guess, because it was very messy. Not making sense, am I?
No, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think it sounds like your work environment might be chaotic, and so having someone to provide that structure is definitely beneficial. I think anyone would benefit from added structure.
There's very little time to process anything, and by the time I clock out, I just want to put all of that behind me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's right back the next morning.
Right. Yeah. So you mentioned there's no outside stressors, just work related, it seems. How would you describe your life outside of work?
Well, when I'm not working, I've been picking up a lot of overtime, and so that's put a lot of personal relationships on the back burner. So I'm gonna try to keep the overtime to the minimum, just so I can give those relationships the time and effort they deserve. Because right now it just feels like all I do is work, and that's the only thing that defines me. I'm not even happy with my work, so the one thing that defines me I'm not even happy with, so it's been frustrating.
Yeah. What relationships are you talking about? So you said, I asked you what your life is like outside of work, but then you just described more work. So when you aren't working or working overtime, what does your free time look like?
I like going to the shooting range from time to time.
Okay.
The weather's gotten cooler, so disc golf is definitely on the agenda.
Okay.
Like working out with some of my buddies. Got a couple male friends that I enjoy hanging out with. And of course, my wife, who she's really busy too, but I probably should spend more quality time with her.
So it sounds like you have a community of people, which is good.
Yeah, that got me out of the last bout of depression.
Okay.
Surrounding myself with good quality people. But I guess I've got to be present for that to actually help.
Okay. Well, that's a good sign that you have people and you do socialize. It sounds like you stay busy even when you're not at work. Do you ever take time to just unwind or stay at home? Are you one of those people that can't sit still?
I can't sit still. I feel guilty when I slow down.
Okay.
I feel guilty. I feel like I should be doing something else.
What would you say is one of your biggest strengths? Like, what are you, Andrew, really good at?
I'm hardworking. Once I find a task, I will drill down, and to the detriment of other projects, get things done. I'm very creative and outside of the box. I think outside of the box. Yeah, sorry, I'm thinking about work again.
That's okay.
I enjoy learning about new subjects. I can, with a couple hours of research, become pretty knowledgeable on lots of things. Yeah.
So you enjoy learning about new things. You're creative. You said you think outside the box, and you're hardworking. I went backwards. Was that everything that you said?
Those were the big ones.
Big ones. Okay. Great. Can you think of anything else that you want to get out of our sessions before we part ways?
I think just handling those two sections would do a lot of good. I can't think of anything else.
Okay. Awesome. Well, it's been really good talking to you. I'm looking forward to our future sessions together. And next time we'll start digging into some of these things that we discussed today. So
All right.
it's nice to meet you.
Thank you.